"I'm sorry, Anna, but I'm in love with Karen." The words that came from the bright youth shook the core of the blue-haired girl in front of him. "It's okay, Suzuki. Don't worry about me. You have to tell her these feelings before it's too late." The youth Suzuki accepted these words and sprang out of the store with eyes filled with vigorous determination, running to catch his love before it's long gone. However, the blue-haired heroine, Anna, who gave him this powerful push, is now sinking into despair while slumped down in a diner shop's booth. One of the words I just narrated to you? Well, the beginning scenes of a very interesting and enjoyable rom-com I caught up to recently called Too Many Losing Heroines, or in Japanese, Make Hirorin ga o Shiguru, a light novel that is being written by Takebi Amamori and illustrated by the mangaka Imigi Muru, along with a manga being drawn by the manga artist Itachi. Too Many Losing Heroines is a already pretty short title, but I'll shorten it even further for convenience sake to Losing Heroines for the entirety of this video. There's also a shortened Japanese version of the title called Makeine, so I might use it interchangeably throughout the video. So what's the story about? Well, the story is about our main character, Kazuhiko Nukumizu, and his growth throughout his interactions with the three losing heroines, Yanami, Remon Yakishio, and Chika Komari. These are the four main characters that we delve the most into throughout the story. They are what you can say are the main cast. I'll just briefly go over these characters because I truly want you guys to go out and read it yourselves and see them and get your own opinions. But starting first, we have Nukumizu. He's a loner otaku protagonist, having his age be equal to the years he's never had a friend. Only having his little sister as a friend, if you want to count that, using light novels and mangas as his solace. He developed a heavy interest into rom-coms, especially little sister type rom-coms. And may I remind you that he has a little sister. Add siscon to it, and he's slowly starting to look like a certain main character. Nah, actually, Japan's love of incest is way too strong for me to narrow down that description to one main character, but you know what I mean. It's typical main protagonist. Next, we have Yanami, our first rejected heroine. Her rejection was used as the hook in this video. She's a childhood friend archetype. Her story goes as follows. Her best friend, a new student from England, Karen Himamiya, stole the heart of her childhood love, Suzuki Hakadama. End of story. Yanami is kind of stupid, to be honest, believing that if she only eats sweets, she won't gain weight, but will actually lose some in place of eating full meals. She's a glutton too, always eating, and is constantly seeking a chance to get Suzuki back from Karen, her supposed best friend, complaining to Nukumizu about the relationship advancements and her troubles. Next, we have Remon Yakishio, our second rejected heroine. Her rejection was also as a childhood friend, her love being stolen by the new girl as well. Except, unlike Yanami, Remon is the bright, innocent, friendly childhood friend type. However, much like Yanami and a lot of the cast inside this series, Remon is also dumb, having her running be the only thing really going for her, being in the track and field club, thus running out her heartbreak like a Nike ad after receiving her rejection. And I like believing in leaving the best for last. Now we have what I'll say is the best girl for me and who I want to be Nukumizu's endgame best girl, Chika Komari. Chika is your average literature club girl, being quiet and introverted. But unlike your typical run-of-the-mill book heroines, this girl holds a sharp yet stuttering tongue, always getting into bickering debates with Nukumizu and verbally berating him as well. Her rejection comes from a key moment in the series that I don't want to spoil, but is a magnificent moment that I really enjoyed reading. Now, why talk about this series? Because obviously I want y'all to go and read it. While this story might not completely change your views of the world and give you 50k, it's a really interesting story. The author, Amamori-sensei, plays with the concepts of the rejected losing girls that we always see throughout animes very well, such as the losing childhood friend, the losing shy girl, the losing bright girl, etc. And I honestly feel like, at times, Amamori-sensei created the series just because her favorite character didn't win. But she doesn't only play around with these concepts, but also tells a compelling story about the throes of rejection and how that changes relationships. Exploring this topic heavily, especially in volume 2 of the series. This is also her debut work. The conversations between the characters in the series are very funny and intriguing, showcasing their idiotic personalities and quirks. Each volume tackles the layers of human relationships and change, growing our main character Nukumizu to understand friendships more and more. Seeing the actions and feelings that create relationships and how special the feelings are when used to create romantic ones. In its newest volume, it showcases a change in one of Nukumizu's relationships. His relationship with his little sister, Kazuhiko Caillou? I'm gonna keep this in. I'm not gonna spoil, but Nukumizu basically experiences the feelings of rejection that he always saw from the losing heroines around him, understanding more deeply the feelings of a person whose beloved doesn't love them. There's a part in that volume that really spoke volumes to me, and it touched me when I read it. It takes a long time to get used to the feeling that you're no longer the most important person in that someone's heart. Yanami's smile has a tinge of confusion and loneliness. Is this life? Yep, the most important person in that someone's heart has changed, but the most important person to you can't change right away. This is what I really feel like the story is all about. Even though there's a lot of comedy and wacky situations, I think that Hanamori-sensei truly wants us to understand the feelings and harsh pains of rejection. And he doesn't only use the main cast of 4, but everyone else as well to convey this message. Each character has their own wacky quirk that resembles a common archetype in anime, but is then humanified by their dealings with rejection and the creation of human connection. Such as the literature club vice president, Goto Tsukunoki. She's an avid BL fan and always gets into arguments with Komari over who's on top and who's on bottom. While being very nonsensical most of the time, she displays very human qualities when she struggles to maintain a relationship with Komari after getting a boyfriend and leaving the literature club for college searching. I enjoy this mix of comedy and human relationship introspection, and if you're looking for that as well, I highly suggest checking the series out. One thing I love while reading a book is seeing the author's excitement for their story through their lines and words throughout the story. Hanamori-sensei's fun while writing Losing Heroines is clearly shown throughout each line I've read. It is a truly fun ride filled with intriguing developments. Hanamori-sensei even stops the story multiple times throughout the novels to write about the literature club members' works, giving us a look into the mindset and perspective of these characters and what interests them throughout their stories. While reading, I listened to the Princess Redive OST on shuffle, and I feel like it properly encapsulates the lighthearted romantic comedy vibe that Hanamori-sensei created while giving light to its dramatic moments in those dark, somber tracks. So give it a try when y'all try reading it too. Losing Heroines also has great illustrations, and the manga is fun as well, properly reflecting the values of the series. The manga is way behind though, still halfway through volume 1, so I suggest reading the light novels instead. You can find the manga on Manga Updates and the light novel on Novel Updates, both being translated by Sky to Wood Translations. This video was really just a light trailer, just brushing over some characters and intriguing plot points. I'll probably talk about stuff more seriously and spoiler heavy when I'm done with volume 5 completely. So check that out later if y'all interested. Peace.
Open these eyes, up they're hiding